Hey guys, come on in, come on in, come on in, come into, I think I'm shaking a bit, so give me 1 second. Come on into the Wife Your Husband stream scope, Facebook Live and Instagram, not Instagram, and Periscope. Come on in. Let me know that you are here when you get here. Let me know if you are picking me up okay. Let me just go live here on Periscope as well. Come on in. You know, one thing I just strongly dislike about Facebook is like it takes so long for them to alert people that you are on. I cannot wait till they fix that. Hello, Periscope family. Good to see you on tonight. Come on in, Facebook. Take y'all a long time, but it's okay. Hey, Rogers, our Periscope family just pops right in. And so come on in. Hello, say hello. Let me know where you're from. Hey, Nikki, good to see you on this evening. I am broadcasting live from Facebook and Periscope. So if you see me going back and forth, hi, Shamika. I hope I said it right. Is it Shamikia or hope I said it right? Hi, good to see you. Welcome to A Wife Your Husband in Dallas. So welcome. Let me know where you're from, like Miss Nikki did. And we're going to get into this thing. Hi, BB. Good to see you on tonight. Welcome to A Wife Your Husband stream from Connecticut. Connecticut is a place I have not been. Oh, wonderful. How is it there? Philly, from Philly. Okay, so we had to speak in Baltimore about, are you guys picking me up all right? Oh, thank you, Shamika. Thank you for inviting and sharing. Yes, please invite and show me back up some so I can kind of look at both screens. Went to Baltimore. I think we had to speak there maybe a few months ago. I think it was in January. Hey, lady. And I wanted a Philly cheesesteak. The best we could get was what we had in Baltimore, and that was good. So I cannot wait to go to Philly and get an authentic one. If you guys are picking me up okay, let me know. I did see my signal was kind of struggling because I am down in my basement office. So let me know that everything is okay. Invite and share. If you are new to me, hey, Shelly Meyer. If you are new to who we are, I am Toy. I am one part of the duo that is Marriage for Real. My husband, Dwayne, or D as everyone calls him, is not with me, but he's with me in spirit. We have this thing called Marriage for Real. Marriage for Real based out of a whole, hey, Ida Pearls, is based out of a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of heartache, and a whole lot of struggle. But we are here 22 years in, glad about it, still in love, and glad to share what we know about marriage with other people. What is Wife Your Husband? Dwayne and I got into an argument some years ago, and we were in the car. And if you've seen the little tidbit that we did, the video that we did on Wife Your Husband on Instagram or on Periscope, on Facebook, we got a huge argument. And in the middle of the argument, he said to me, I don't need you to be my wife. What he said, I don't need you to be my mother. I have one of those. I don't need you to be my pastor. I don't need you to be my conscience. I've got all of that. What I need you to do is be my wife. In the moment, brother got the Scooby-Doo face, right? But after a few minutes, I had to think about it, and I came back and I'm like, what does it really mean to be his wife? Now, we've seen women and we've seen marriages that we admire, but every man and every woman has very different needs, very different situations, have different things going on in their lives. There's some things that are fundamental to each marriage. That it's the same across the board. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs to have a little bit of 57 or a whole lot of 57. Just some general things. Everybody needs love and encouragement, all those things in their marriage. But things are unique in your marriage. Like in our marriage, we brought in a lot of dysfunction. And so we brought in rejection, we brought in different levels of pain, we brought in soul ties, we brought in different things. And so I had to learn him and he had to learn me. And in the process, we had to get all this gunk out of our marriage to get to where we are right now. And so that's how Wife Your Husband was born. I had to learn how to be a wife to my husband. I don't know what it's like to wife Tim, but I can tell you what it's like to wife Brother D. Right? There's some things that are the same across the board, but there's some things that are different. So that's Wife Your Husband. So please be sure to invite and share. If you're picking me up, please let me know on Periscope over here so I can see that you're here. One of the things that I wanted to get into on tonight is one of the pieces that I taught in the Wife or Husband class. It's a 4-week class that I did with some women, and it was pretty awesome. Actually, it was very good for me to kind of go through it for the first time, just to see what I knew. And then I kind of processed some things as I was going. But there's some things that every woman needs to know about her husband to be an effective wife. The word tells us, and we are those people, we are those Bible-believing people. The word tells us a man who finds a wife findeth a good thing. You said Facebook is frozen? Oh no. You guys, is Facebook, are you guys frozen over here? Please let me know. I see some things happening. If you are frozen, I'm sorry. You can hop over onto our Periscope channel because I don't know what's going on. Please let me know. Okay, you're not. Okay, some people say they're not frozen. Some people were. Okay, I see it's kind of glitching a little bit. Anywho, here we go. Hey, Main Street. And so back up. Yeah, some things that I taught in the class that were very profound to me in the process of learning them and teaching them. And so I think that every woman should know these things. There's actually more than 3, but we're going to do the top 3 that I think that is very important on tonight that every woman should know about her husband. And we're going to start right now. First thing is this. Every woman, wives, you should know what your husband fears. That should be like, what is his fear? And it's important to know why he fears that thing. Your husband could be a man who fears failure, right? And why does he fear failure? Is it because he was a young man who was told that he was never going to be anything? Is it because he's a young man who didn't have that father figure in his life and he was never spoken into? Is he afraid to fail because he's afraid to take risks, or he's afraid that you're going to leave him? He's afraid that you don't believe in him, or he doesn't believe in himself. It's important that you know why he's afraid and what that fear is. Why is it important to know? So that you don't tap dance on it, so that you can speak into it, and so that you can pray it through. My husband is one of those people. My husband, one of his biggest fears is failure. But the funny thing is that he's never failed at anything, literally, that he's put his hands to. But it has made him a little bit more timid, right? When it comes to doing or trying new things or stepping out on things. He'll pull back on it, afraid that he may do something wrong, afraid that he may not make the same decision. You understand over there, Brother Main Street? Right, just afraid to fail. But a man who knows that he has a wife in his corner that's not going to let him fail, right? Not going to let him fail, and that's going to be in his corner no matter what. Let me tell you, men, if you men are watching, God honors your intention to lead as a godly man. He honors that. You're not going to get it all right all the time. You're going to fall sometimes, but he honors. Oh, that was good. On Facebook, we have a man of God says he was afraid to fail because he feared he would end up like his daddy. Y'all, there's so many of our husbands who have really big daddy issues, daddies who never showed up. And when your daddy don't show up, and I can say this for as a girl, that you have feelings of inadequacy all across the board. Am I good enough? Why was I not good enough for you to stay? Why did you leave? Like all these questions, right? And so you have big issues of inadequacy. A man cannot lead if he feels inadequate. So your responsibility as a wife is to speak to that thing. You make that man know, as far as you are concerned, that he is well able to lead your home, that the decisions that he makes may not be always the best ones, right? May not always be the best ones, but you're not leaving and you're going to help him. And in the meantime, what you need to do, you need to start praying for his confidence, praying that he will have a boldness that comes from the Lord. As women, we know this thing. Our mouths can tear a man down or they can build him up. You need to learn to use your mouth wisely, right? Use your mouth wisely. You don't know what's inside of him sometimes that is still broken, that you're speaking to with your mouth. And you're only confirming what that thought process that's in their head. everybody has, you're right, mainstream. Men need to do that too. Men, you need to watch your mouth. This is a wife, your husband scope is why I'm dealing with the string, why I'm dealing with the women. Oh, I'm sorry, but I can definitely say that as far as the men too. You need to watch your mouth. You need to watch how you speak to your wives. So some of the same very issues that you have, your wife have also. A lot of us women, we didn't have daddies, they gone. We didn't have women who affirmed us and tell us that we are well able, that we are good women, that we are good mothers, we are good wives. A lot of us didn't have that. So when you come and you speak something into our life that we already are insecure about anyway, you only affirm that. Don't do the devil's work for them. Speak life into your spouse. So my mom spoke a certain way, which transferred to me, which took a toll on me. I understand we have a lot of things that we are dealing with that have come from our parents. And here's the thing of it. We can give some things that we have to our children. And so we all need prayer all the way around. So the first thing is this: know your husband's fear and know why he has that fear. And when you know why he has that fear, you have to speak into his life on a consistent basis. I know you say, well, I may encourage him every now and then, or why does a man need all that type of encouragement? I've said that all the time. Like, why? I was raised by someone who was not really big on affirming you, right? Wasn't really big on telling you how good you are. And God forbid, she definitely wasn't about to tell a man that he's this and he's that. She would tell him he's this and that, but it wasn't a good this and that. And so when I met my husband, I was like, okay, you handsome, but I was not about to just do all you the finest thing that is walking this earth, and you the Superman, and you the hero of my life, and you just do something to me. Like I was not built that way, right? I was not, like, we had to get stuff done, or you was about to catch one. So we didn't have time to do all this extra stuff. And so when I met my husband, I did not know how to do that. Like, I'm like, you cool, you handsome, let's go do this thing, right? But I had to learn that. There are things as a wife that you may come short in. Just because you don't know, don't make it okay. You have to realize what you don't know and then work on that thing, right? Like, I'm not good at that. Like, you can say, I'm not good at that, but let me work on it. Just because you're not good at it does not give you an excuse not to work on it. Okay, so that's point one. Know his fear and know why he has his fear. 2, what is his vision? A lot of us complain that we are married to visionless men. Like, he don't know where we going. He'll have no clue where he's taking us. And sometimes it's because you don't know. He has one and he's trying to communicate it to you, but you ain't on board. Let the church say amen and amen again. These are my guilty hands, y'all. Guilty, right? I had to sit back and say, okay, does this man have a vision? Like, what is your vision? And then once we figured out what that vision was, sister has to get on board with that. How can two walk together except they what? Agree. Write the vision, make it plain. If you don't know where you're going, y'all not going nowhere. So you have to know what his vision is. And as a wife, know what makes you that good thing? You're the complement to the vision. It doesn't mean that that you don't have your own and that you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. But the Lord called the man to what? Be the head. Facebook, I think I'm freezing. If I am freezing, I am sorry. You can hop over onto Periscope. We are over there. So please forgive me if I'm freezing over here. But you have to know what the vision is. God made you a helpmeet. That means you are meat. You are able. Everything in you is meant to pull out what's in him, right? Like when the Lord said, I made man, he said, it ain't good for him to be alone. Let me go make him someone. That someone is you. He made you for that man. And so whatever's inside of you, God put in you to pull out what is in that man. Y'all getting this? Are you getting it? Sometimes it's hard. Let me tell you, one of the hardest things you're going to ever do is be married. One of the hardest things you're going to ever do is be married, because you have, out of sheer commitment to your covenant, some days you're going to feel like you do not want to be there. Hey, Naj, hey, You're going to feel like that. You're going to feel like you're ready to walk away. But you made a covenant to that man. I've always said that I wanted this testimony. And it was the testimony of Jesus. Jesus said, Lord, or he said, Father, everything that you've given me, I kept, except for that one who was saved for that great day, and that was Judas. Everything, hey Shatanya, everything that the Lord gave, everything God gave Jesus, he kept. You said, baby, move the camera down. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My husband hopped on Periscope. I'm on Facebook. Everything that the Lord gave Jesus, he kept it. He multiplied it. He made well. Wives, your responsibility as a wife is to multiply, right? Your husband gives seed. You carry the seed. You multiply it, right? Whatever the man of God has in his life, whatever's been sown into him, part of your responsibility, part of it, because it's not all on you, is to multiply what he has. You have that in you to be able to do it. Trust me when I tell you. So you got to know what his vision is. And once you know his vision, you got to say, okay, this is what he feels like the Lord has called us to do. What do I have in me? What gifts, what talents do I have within me to make this thing happen? But sometimes wives, which we are guilty of, we sit back and we're going to see what they're going to do. God didn't call you to that. He called you to be the help meet, the help that is meet for him. So that's two. What is his vision? The second thing is, who is his influence? Because if you know who his influence is, you're going to know who he honors. And you want to be very particular about who he's honoring. Big thing is, you should be a major influence in his life. You should be, because someone is influencing your husband. But I'm speaking about on a different level. As men look for someone to pattern themselves after, just like women do. Most men won't say it, but men do it. If my husband is there, if any man can say that they do, please say yes. My nephew had to be about 10 years old, and he was I think it was career day. And his dad was not in his life. His dad was not in his life. And he was trying to figure out like what he was going to be. And so he had told my mom, he said he needed a polo, and he needed some khakis, and he needed, I think it was some golf clubs or something. He wanted the gator on it. And my mom said, like, well, why do you want that for career day? Like, who are you going to be? And he said, I want to be Dr. such and such. It's a person that my mom worked for. But he found somebody that he idolized in his mind, and he decided that I'm going to pattern myself after this man, right? And so that was at 10 years old. You need to know who your man is honoring, because that's the biggest influence in your marriage. Understand that. That person who your husband honors, who is his influence, who that person has say so in your marriage. You need to know who that is. You need to know what he's listening to. I ain't saying go creeping. I ain't saying go looking through his stuff. What I'm saying is watch who he's honoring. Watch who he's giving his ear to. Because those are things that you're going to have to pray over. You said, what if he's not honoring anyone? What if he's not influenced by anyone? Every man is influenced by something or someone. Every man. I know you said, my husband said, be observant. There is some man or there's something that is influencing him. It should be you as a wife. You should have an influence in your husband's life. I always hear this thing that says that the husband is the head, right? But women, we the neck. We have the ability to turn that head this way and that way, right? That's why the Bible tells us about men really need to watch the women they with, because they can turn your heart away from God. We can influence our husbands in a different way, but I'm talking about the man that he honors. And if your husband has no man that he honors, or no man that influences him, that's a prayer point for you. What if he doesn't speak of honor to anyone? He learns a lot through the school of hard knocks. That's a tough one. And that probably has made it very hard in your marriage. But I'm going to that's an area that should be a prayer for you. You said your husband is very prideful. Oh, that pride, Shamika, comes from a different place. A lot of men will cover their insecurities and mask it with pride, because a lot of things sometimes they don't know. Like they don't know. And so instead of you instead of them looking to you like they don't know, right? You see there's pride over there too. So men, that's one of the biggest things that they have is their pride, right? Because really that's all that they have is their ego. Not really all they have. That's all they think that they have, right? It's one of the biggest tricks of the enemy to make him think, hey, Frida, to think that he is this and he is that, and he exalts himself and thinks that he is the man, right? And he is this and he's the man in your home, right? You said, but even the School of Hard Knocks has something or someone he is emulating. Absolutely, Shatanya. There's something somewhere. Something is influencing him for sure. But men use pride as a cover-up. Men use pride as a cover-up for insecurity. Your husband, and I know this is a hard place to get to, and it was a hard place for us to get to in our marriage, was to where he feels confident and comfortable enough to tell you where his weakness is. Because the worst thing you could do as a woman is to make him feel like he's less than, or to use his insecurities or his weaknesses against him. And oftentimes when we see pride in regards to us, when it comes to dealing with us as his wives, it's because he's built up a defense even against you, because he wants to make sure that you're not going to hurt him. Wives, we deal with some wounded men. Make no mistake about it. We are dealing with wounded men. The truth of it is a lot of us are wounded women. You said, my husband has deep trust issues, just recently got betrayed by a male friend. Yeah, a lot of our men are wounded. But who came to mend them? Who showed up for them? Who? And then they get into marriage and they put on this facade because they have to be the man, right? They have to be the one that shows up. They have to be the one that takes care of things. They have to be the one to man up. But who's taking care of him? Who is speaking to those wounds? Who is covering him in prayer with those wounds? Who's saying, babe, let's go get some counseling with those wounds? Who? No, we don't do those things. We continue to make demands on them. It's hard to even see them as wounded because oftentimes we are the object of their wounds. Sometimes they'll spill out on us because they're wounded and don't know how to say, I'm wounded, babe. I'm broken. I have not come up in this area. I'm still dealing with this thing. I'm still broken in this area. This man never showed up for me. This woman broke my heart. This is this and this is that. I don't know what love really feels like. They don't know how to say these things to you because we're expecting them to be the man. Man, show up. Man, be a man. It's hard, right? It's a process, but we have gotten so far from the fundamental basics of things that we make everything hard. And it ain't that hard to figure out. You know brokenness when you see it. It's just hard to see it in your spouse because you're too close to it. But if you back up and you look at them as a human being, as an individual who owes you nothing, right? If you look at them as like a stranger and try to observe and look at that thing, you can see his broken pieces. BB, you said, my husband and I broke up 4 months ago. We were in the process of getting back together, and he agreed to do marriage counseling with me. So just listen to your advice is helping. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad I can be of some help. Thank you. You got to know that they're broken. They are broken. They are broken. I wish my husband was here with me because my husband is a man who's able to be emotional. But I know at times that even my responses have made him guarded. That's made him not feel like he can pull down his guard with me because I'm expecting him to be what? The man. Be the man. I'm the woman. You be the man. But it doesn't make you any less of a man to be vulnerable to your woman when you can trust her. Now, the wives, the question you have to ask yourself is, can he trust me? Can he trust me that I am not going to, that you're not going to use those words against him, that you're not going to use his weaknesses against him? Can he trust you? I mean, use those weaknesses against him in the midst of an argument. Of course, I would never do that. But in the midst of an argument, that thing may come out. That's why you ain't never been a such and such. This is why such and such happened. We can be cruel with our mouths. Very cruel. You got to watch that thing. Facebook, if I froze, leave out and come back. Okay. So what is his fear? And you got to know why. What is his vision? And who is his influence? Or who is his, who is he honoring? Last thing I'm going to bring out, I'm going to add an extra one. You got to know what brings your husband joy. What brings him joy? Is it when he comes home, house is clean, food is made? Is it that when he goes out to work, his stuff is, ready to go? Is it that, just coming home and seeing your face? Is it coming home seeing his kids? Is it coming home, being in front of the TV watching this? Like, what brings him joy? As much joy as you can bring him and insert into his life, try to do it. I know that my husband works a job that he's not too fond of. There's a lot of things that go on at his job. And so one of the things that he definitely doesn't want to do when he comes home is deal with some frustrations with other things. And does he? Yep. I'm like, Toy ain't speaking from the mountaintop. There's some things that he comes home and he's got to deal with. And we 22 years in, we still dealing with some stuff, right? We still processing through some things, and we still ever learning and ever growing. But you got to know what brings him joy. And as much joy as you can insert into your home, you do that. Why do you set the temperature in your house? Your husband is the major thermostat, right? But you set the temperature in your house. You say how things go. You say how things feel in your house. You say if it's going to be a peaceful place or it's going to be a house of chaos. If it's going to be a house of controversy. It's going to be a house of just nagging. And you set that atmosphere in that thing. That's what you do. So my husband's job stresses him out, and so you try not to. Yeah, and I know sometimes, and I'm not saying like, oh, just make it up. Like, don't address your needs. Don't address, hey, Katrina, hey. I'm not saying don't address your needs. One thing that we always say here at Marriage for Real, make sure that when it's time to have those conversations about what you need and what you want and what you're lacking, is that you have created an atmosphere for those conversations. When he comes to the door, it ain't time to have them conversations, right? It ain't time for that. When he comes to the door, it ain't time to say, and this bill needs to be paid, and that bill needs to be paid, and we need more. It ain't time for that. Wives, use your womanly wisdom, right, to have them conversations. Use wisdom to have those conversations. After he's relaxed, he said his joy is knowing that I don't need for anything. Now, sister, that's my sister on that sunshine. That right there, that thing right there, that's a joyous thing. When your husband said, my joy is knowing that you don't need for nothing. Come on now, Carlos, say that thing. You said, don't surprise or express at the right time. Yes, create the atmosphere for those conversations to be had. My husband's over here talking to you. Don't have to suppress it, right? You don't have to suppress your needs and your wants, but just create the atmosphere for those questions, those conversations to be had. So the 3 takeaways that every woman must know about her husband: what is his fears and why? What brings him joy? What is his vision? I think I added one more. What is his influence and who does he honor? You got to know those things. I've got a whole list of things in the Wife Your Husband class that I do that ask a lot of questions. One of the first things that we do in our class is we get down to the meat of things, and that is what we do with our stuff. What stuff? Recently, like every time I take something to the Lord about my husband, first, this is what he does. He turns them eyes right back on me and be like, well, let's deal with this, right? Let's deal with you right now. So the last one was what brings him joy. Right. That's what brings him joy. You got to look at yourself, woman, first, and then you take those things about him to the Lord. And if you've watched our last scope about the thing that the powerful vision that the Lord had, revelation the Lord had given me concerning marriage, go back and watch that. Katika says you gotta know when to talk about certain things. The Holy Spirit, yes, the Holy Spirit will absolutely guide you on when to have conversations. We make everything like it's hard, right? If you are a woman of faith, this thing can be a whole lot easier for you. You have a helpmeet with you. You have someone that can go before you. You have a paraclete that walks aside of you, and that's called the Holy Spirit, right? He can say, today ain't a good time. I'm telling y'all, the funny thing. I think, babe, I can't remember how long we have been married, but one thing you can never tell me to do is to shut up. Do not tell me to shut up, because that will just take me to a whole different level. You can say, be quiet. I don't even like that, but do not tell me to shut up. So we were in the midst in the car. A lot of the arguments for us happened in the car, right? Probably before church most times, but this wasn't a before church argument. So we're in the car and we're going back and forth. And he's like, you need to learn when to be quiet. Who are you talking? Like, who are you talking to? You don't tell me to be quiet. You don't tell me to be quiet. He looked at me. I mean, we just going back and forth. And he looked at me and he said, shut up. I'm like, what you say to me? Like, I got ready to just give him a mouthful. And in that very moment, the Holy Spirit said, shut up. Y'all, I turned around. Kids, this happened. I turned around. I kind of turned around towards the window. To my right, was a graveyard. And I know that it wasn't lost on me, like, in that situation. Like, sometimes we just do need to know when to shut up. And every time ain't a time to assert yourself. We are wise women. We are going to be women who are wise. That doesn't make you weak in the sense of, like, you can't stand for yourself and all those things. Right, boss lady? He was like, shut up. Like, you about to... You said, yes, I've heard that before. Like, it doesn't make you less than to shut your mouth. If we want our husbands to be men, we want our husband to be men with everything but us, right? Be a man in the streets. Be a man when dealing with other men. Be a man when dealing with the kids. Be a man when dealing with the bills. Be a man when dealing with all other things. When it comes to me, don't be a man, because don't assert yourself over me, bro. You're not the head over this thing. Oh, we're going to be quiet. He said, I've been having chronic back pain, so haven't been able to work. And my husband makes it seem like it's okay for me to stay home. But he's stressed out a lot because we used to be a team, and I feel like I'm letting him down. Shamika, girl, I can attest to that, because I am off work too. You do what you can do, right? You take the stresses off of him that you can take off. I love what Sunshine said about her. I know her husband's name is Carlos. Said, he said his joy, and this is most men that I know, most real men, it is their pleasure, it is their honor to be able to provide for their families. Like, they want to be able to do that. They don't want anybody else to have to come into their household and take care of their family. Now, that's most men. That's most men. Right? My husband can attest to that. And so you're not working because you're lazy and you just sitting at home, right? He said Charm? She said there are wonderful work from home opportunities. Arise.com. Arise.com is where to go. And she said she goes and she does it and it's legit. So someone over on Periscope said, go to arise.com. We're going to write this down, right? Because sister at home too, while my husband, like, come off your job, right, and do Marriage for Real full time. So that means a large piece of our income went back out the door. And he's like, I'm going to pick up another job to kind of help supplement the income that's missing. Now, I can understand. I felt the same way that you felt, Shamika, like, ooh, like, I don't want you working like that. I don't want you to be stressed out and all these type of things. Let me go do what I need to do. But he's like, this is what he said. This is what I need you to do. I need you to do Marriage for Real full time. He said, this is what I need you to do. And so he knows that you ain't left him. He knows that you're still a good teammate. You have not, you ain't forgotten about him. Just make the things that you can make less stressful. You being stressed out is not helping, because you're creating that atmosphere in the house when he gets there. So y'all get a bill that's late. When he gets to the door, don't be like, babe, the bill late. He said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a woman bringing home. It's troubling that many of us feel that. I know, Shatanya, a lot of women feel like it's a dread, or that they're doing something wrong with being home. We just gonna put it out there. It is the man's responsibility to take care of the home, to provide for the home. He is the provider. He's the provider in the home. So that's the thing. I'm like you, Shamika. We ain't gonna let the ship go down now. Like, if I gotta get out there and the sister gotta work, that's exactly what we gonna do. right? But my husband's always been a man that worked, and I can get alongside of a man who works, right? I can come alongside that thing and say, babe, we got some goals, we got some missions. Let's go do this. We're going to do it. Now, if you just sitting at home not doing nothing, then that just feels a little bit different when a man come home from work all day and then you got nothing to eat, house tore up, kids everywhere, nothing's happening, all this stuff. It makes them feel a little bit different. Now, this scope has gone further than I intended to go because my husband get home, he got to eat too, y'all. And he's at work. So yeah, understand that, Shamika, but it's a season, baby. You understand that it's a season, and you still his helpmeet. You still his teammate. What you do is you're a multiplier. You multiply what he brings in. Ask God to show you how to multiply. And I'm gonna tell him myself. So my husband came to me and he was like, okay, so baby, you're off work now. And he's like, he didn't know a whole lot of baked ziti, boss lady. My husband, he was like, babe, what did he say? He said, what is our monthly food budget? He said, Fierce Joys and what? Fierce Joys, his vision, and who is his influence, and who does he honor? I'm sorry, y'all, I'm talking to Facebook and Periscope over here. I'm sorry. But he said, babe, what's our food budget for the month? And I said, it's about $600. And he said, so we do like $300 every 2 weeks? I'm like, yeah, about $300 every 2 weeks. He said, do you think we can get it down to $250? It's 5 people, bro. You like to eat, and you like to eat well. How are we gonna do that? Right? How are we gonna do that? I'm telling y'all. He said, I'm gonna go home and mom tell me that. Oh, right. How are we gonna do that? And first I was averse to it, whatever the word that is. I was like, this is what I do, so I normally do. I know how to grocery shop. I know how to shop on a budget. I know what we're doing. He's like, and so, babe, you remember you used to do coupons, babe. You think you can get back into couponing? So now you tell me how to wife. Now you telling me how to be a wife now? Oh. So that was the argument, right? Y'all, as I said, not talking from the mountaintop, some days still in the valley. So unbeknownst to him, I said, okay, let me try to figure this thing out, because now that I'm home, right, I really want to make this thing work. I want to make him not regret making that decision or having that feeling or having that thought. Even you said, stay out your lane, Shatanya, right? Stay out your lane. Y'all, you just got, sometimes you got to tell on yourself, right? So I said, let me figure this thing out. Why did sister was like, I got my little menu out for the next 2 weeks. We eat this day and this day and this that day. Did I do it within the number that he asked me to be able to do it under? Yes, sister did it. So sometimes we have to push ourselves, tell on ourselves, realize we ain't where we think that we are all the time, and be the helpmeets that God has called us to. All right. So thank you all. Thank you for just being on here with us on tonight. If you all like the iWife shirt that I have on this evening, you can go onto our Etsy store, which is Marriage for Real. Buy the shirt. So it's all work now. So we selling products. We hustling in these streets. You can follow us on all of our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. We have a bunch of videos up there. Oh, thank you, Shatanya. We have a bunch of videos up there that you can grab and watch. Follow us, turn on your notifications. Yeah, my husband normally does this part. And we on Pinterest too, girl. We on Pinterest too. We on Pinterest. And as you all know, if you're not new, that we do the number 7s over here. 7s let us know that is our number of completion. Y'all have been restored. Please send me your testimony, Shatanya. Y'all, we've been praying with this sister for a while about her and her marriage, and she just said on Periscope that her marriage has been restored. Send me the testimony. I want to hear about it. I'm so excited about that. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm so happy to hear it. I'm so happy to hear that. So yes, 7 is our number of completion. If I've said something that's blessed you and has helped you along, please put the number 7 at the bottom. And let us know that we've done what we've needed to do. We love you all. If you are in Chicago on November the 1st, we're having our first Marriage for Real outing. Dwayne and I are going to be doing some counseling a little bit, but it's going to be a sip and paint. We don't drink, so we will be providing like sparkling wine and sparkling cider, and finger foods and stuff like that. But it's going to be here in Chicago. Y'all can fly in if y'all want to. Fly in, Latanya. We're going to have a great time. But it's going to be on November the 1st. I'll be posting more information about it. On, when is it? Next Wednesday night, we will be on a different, he's going to beat me up. Daryl Fletcher's is going to be a different show on Wednesday, but I'll give you all that information as well. You said you have a work conference November 1st or 3rd. Okay, so God bless you all. My hubby is about to come home, so I have to get things together. I will see you soon. Love you and good night.